06, and you can see that all the traffic is being diverted off of the northbound lanes of I-75 onto Golden Gate Parkway as crews begin to investigate this crash. I want to show you video that was obtained by drivers on the northbound lanes of I-75 as they were traveling on this roadway here when they saw this plane come crashing down. Obviously, we've covered plane crashes in the past, and it's likely that that plane was attempting to make a landing when this all happened. We can tell you that there were 5 people aboard according to the FAA, and judging by the wreckage, judging by the explosions that we have seen in all of that video, it is unlikely that there are any survivors in this, which is very tragic. We did get a chance to hear transmissions from that pilot just moments before this crash happened, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But at first, I want to describe to you what this aircraft was going through today. We do know that it departed from Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport this morning and flew to Ohio, Columbus, then departed from Columbus and was attempting to land here at Naples Municipal Airport when that pilot crashed. Take a listen to these transmissions just moments before that plane came down.
Okay, Challenger, Hopperjet 823, lost both engines, emergency, making an emergency landing.
Whoever's got the emergency, clear to land runway 23, is that Hopperjet 823?
We're clear to land, but we're not going to make the runway. We've lost both engines.
And as we come back out live to that traffic right there, you can hear through that transmission that pilot saying that they have lost both engines of that jet. That jet, we have learned, is being described as a Bombardier Challenger 600 or a Bombardier Challenger 604, flying with the airline Hopperjet. We have reached out to that airline to find out exactly what was going on with that aircraft. That 105, as you heard me mention, this all happened on mile marker 106, so I am unable to see the wreckage from our vantage point, but we have not received any information, at least not from the FAA, if any vehicles were involved. Obviously, we do know that there are several vehicles that were on the interstate at the time this happened. That plane obviously attempting to land here on the lanes of I-75, so it is very likely that that plane may have struck a vehicle. As soon as we gather those details, we'll be sure to let you know.
Okay, and did you learn anything new from talking with the Collier County Sheriff's Department at all, or did they just sort of give you the basic details because they too did not know much about what was happening out there?
Well, as soon as we arrived here, we asked how close we could actually get to the scene. They said that they were still in the process of putting the flames out on that wreckage. As you probably saw in that cell phone video, that plane up against a wall right next to the interstate walls that we've seen all along the northbound lanes here. Still unsure if that plane crashed into that wall, but obviously those first responders working to take care of all of that wreckage. Obviously, it's not safe for us to get that close. So that's what those deputies were conveying to us, just to keep our distance right now to allow those first responders to do their work. There was also a road ranger who I got a chance to speak with as well, and he's been placing all of these cones right here and diverting traffic onto the Golden Gate Parkway exit right here. He tells me that he was on the phone with one of his co-workers who was screaming on the radio saying, "There's a plane coming down, there's a plane coming down, oh my God, a plane just crashed." And he had to repeat what he had just heard to his colleague saying, "Did you just say a plane crashed? Did you just say a plane crashed?" And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. So this obviously very startling for a lot of people. In fact, some drivers passing me by asking me, what happened? What happened? I tell them a plane crashed, and they have this look on their face like they just can't believe it. Despite how many crashes we've covered in the past, it's just very startling to hear this sort of thing. And judging by the size of this plane, we've covered small aircrafts in the past landing on Alligator Alley. This is an aircraft with 2 jet engines, a rather large plane, and that's likely what